Hey, what's going on, weavers? Tim here again. In this tutorial, we're learning how to tie a double crown sinnet or vertical crown knot paracord bracelet. This knot was authored by Mr. Bill's Paracord Cross, and I'll link his channel in the description box down below. It's a very simple knot, but it makes a great looking bracelet, and I hope you guys will like this one. We are doing this one knot and loop style. And remember guys, if you're looking for where to get paracord, feel free to check out those affiliate links down below. With that being said, let's get into it. So to start off, I've got one of my two paracord strands. I've got it bent in half. I've got the midpoint up top. I'm going to take the second one with the midpoint in between our fingers as well, and you're going to put that in between the two strands of the first cord, like so. That loop up top is going to form our loop part for the closure. With the strand on the right, put it behind the two gray strands, and then take the green strand on the left side and bring it to the front and out the crook on the right side, like so. Okay, you're going to pull that tight, and this is where you kind of adjust the size of your loop up top. That's going to again form the closure. Now once you have that adjusted properly to where you want it, you can start tying the rest of our bracelet. So now from here, you're going to switch the cords. So the two gray cords in the middle come apart like so. And we're going to bring those to the sides and bring the green strands down to the center. Now those become almost like the core strands. And now you're going to do the same pattern. Now with the cord on the right, bring it behind the two core strands. Gray cord on the left goes behind that one, but bring it in front of the core and to the right side through the crook, like so. Okay, now you tighten that knot. Now don't pull this one too tight just yet because it will close the loop up top. And I'm going to adjust that and pull out the slack from the green as well. And when you close it up, it almost looks kind of like a square knot. So that is the first knot. And now you're just going to repeat that pattern. So the core strands in the middle come apart, and the outside strands now become the core. And again, with the strand on the right side, put that behind the core. Strand on the left goes behind that one, but now that one goes in front of the core. So bring that one on the front and out through the right side on the crook and pull it tight. And after you pull it tight, you want to pull out the slack of the core strands going down the middle. So you're just going to be alternating between the gray and the green strands to tie your bracelet. Now one thing I do want to mention is depending on how tightly you cinch these knots and how well you firm them up, they could change the look of the bracelet slightly, and I will show you the two versions at the end of the video. So this one I'm not tying as tightly, and I'm kind of maintaining that little sort of hole in the middle of the square knot there, or that sort of crown sinnet there. And yeah, that makes a slightly different looking bracelet, but I will show you the other version where you firm up the knot completely and almost remove that little space in between the knots. And they look very similar, but just ever so slightly different. So I will show that at the end of the video. So you're just going to continue tying this pattern all the way down your bracelet, just alternating between the two different colors. Of course, you could do this one single color. I actually do like this in a single color more, but for the sake of the tutorial, I did it in two colors. So now coming down to the end of the bracelet, I was a little short on cord for this one to tie the diamond knot, so I'm just going to go through that. If you don't know how to tie the diamond knot, you can check my linked tutorial in the video as well as down below. But don't worry about the measurements for the ones I gave you. You'll have more than enough cord to tie a diamond knot as the closure. So I'm just going to finish off my diamond knot like so. You don't have to tie a diamond knot. You can tie, something different like a Matthew Walker knot or whatever, but I'm just going to keep it simple and go with the diamond. So I'm going to cinch up that diamond, and I will have to slightly adjust it to the right length so it fits my wrist properly. Okay, and then I'm going to firm up that diamond knot like so. Now from there, all I have to do is cut off the excess paracord. So I'm going to cut off those green strands on the sides first. Doesn't really matter which order you do them in. But yeah, get those cords off. And I'm going to press down on it with my knotter's tool. Do the same on the other side. And last but not least, I'm going to cut off those tails on the end of the diamond knot. You can leave them a bit longer if you want. You don't have to cut them super short. And there we have it. There is our double crown sinnet or vertical crown knot paracord bracelet. And of course, this was the the two-tone one I showed you just now as we made. And I did mention you could tie the knots a bit tighter and it will give you a slightly different look. So as you can see, there's some tiny gaps in between those knots. But if you tie them a bit tighter and sort of squeeze the knots together, you can kind of eliminate that gap and you get something like this. So I did this one in just a solid green with one color, and there it is on the wrist. And I think they both look great. I do prefer the single color a bit more with the tighter knots, but you know, that's up to you on how you want to make yours. And as always, a huge thank you to all my Patreon patrons for supporting this channel. If you want access to exclusive tutorials, feel free to check out my Patreon page, a link in the video as well as down below. Alright, so that is the tutorial for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and feel free to click on to the next video and see what else I've got.